Morning everybody, it's Dennis, and I'm here at Streamside. Wanted to provide you with a market update. It's been a while. You've probably been hearing, in fact since April, you've probably been hearing about the change in the market. We've seen a bit of a shift. And so we've had a 4.5 year run of double-digit appreciation. However, I wanted to provide a little bit of background information and maybe some context on what you're hearing from the media, what you're hearing maybe regionally, just as far as kind of anecdotally, and give you some information to maybe process regarding where we are in the current market. And this current market being October 15th, 2018. I attended a symposium last week in September, so 2 weeks ago, with a couple of gentlemen who are the regional planner for King, Pierce, Snohomish, and Thurston and Skagit counties, so 5-county area here around the Puget Sound. And then the other gentleman was he's the one who does forecasting for the Regional Home Builders Association, a gentleman by the name of Todd Britch. And I'm going to go mostly into the numbers that Todd provided. He's an extremely knowledgeable guy, and his information is kind of more focused on what I think is relevant to where we are in the market. We've got about 51,000 current vacant lots available for development in the pipeline, which that's for the entire region. That's a 5-county region. And 51,000 lots is roughly a 6-year inventory for the entire area. King County has approximately 7.5 years of inventory, which is about 12,000 lots. Snohomish County has approximately 2.6 years of inventory, which I think is really interesting. There's a dramatic difference there between King and Snohomish, but that means about 3,500 lots currently in the pipeline. What that means is we've got nearly 5,000 fewer lots in the pipeline than what's needed to fulfill anticipated demand. The projected median sales price for King County, we're looking at about $690,000 as that median sale price. Snohomish County, we're looking at about $500,000 as the median sale price. Significant difference, and quite a ways up from where we started about 4.5 years ago. The 2018 year-end projected median price per square foot for King and Snohomish County. King is running about $330, and Snohomish is running about $260 a square foot. King County is currently running about 2 months of inventory, whereas Snohomish County has about 1 3/4 months. Average days on market for King and Snohomish County are running an average of about 20 days, and homes for sale is up about 20%. So our pending sales are down about 3%, or 315 units. New listings are up 12%, or about 1,203 units. And our monthly supply is up 41%, or 1.2 months versus 1.7 months of inventory. You got to keep in mind, of course, that is relative to being a balanced market, which is between 4 to 6 months. So one of the key factors is, of course, the average income needed to cover our median sale price. The income had to go up by 40% to keep up with a 29% increase overall in that sale price. Pool of buyers who can actually make that monthly has shrunken pretty significantly. And of course, there's other factors driving into that as well. The shutdown of cash buyers coming from China. You may know that probably 2.5, 3 years ago, Vancouver, BC was having a similar issue to what we were having here, with cash buyers buying up everything, inflating prices, and then leaving properties unoccupied pretty much indefinitely. In order to put a stop to that, BC decided that they were going to change their program a little bit, and they implemented a 28% tax on non-owner occupied properties. So of course, that had the impact of driving all of those cash buyers down into our area, where they quickly absorbed the majority of our inventory. We were down at times in the last 4.5 years, we had inventory of less than a week available in King County. Snohomish County was only slightly behind that, sometimes pushing up to almost 3 weeks of inventory, which is insane. Referring back, of course, again to the fact that a balanced market is 4 to 6 months of inventory. So when you're talking weeks of inventory, things are absurdly tight. The takeaway from that is that it was an unsustainable scenario. There was no way that we could continue running at that speed with that absorption rate indefinitely. So something had to change, and it has changed. So they instituted new rules around getting money out of the country that made it almost impossible, and as a result, that component of the market has essentially come to a halt. The other component that has shifted, rates of course have gone up. So that has had an impact on the buying power of buyers. They're no longer able to get as much for their money as they were even just like 2 years ago. We've had historically low rates. Everything, as you know, has been hovering around that sub 4% range, and now we're actually pushing up against 5%, and that has an impact. That's going to drive a few folks out. And of course, the other thing that speaks to is that we've got such limited basically starter home inventory. We have, when you talk about 500,000 being the median in Snohomish, and over 6 being the median for King County, there's a limited number of people who can afford to buy into that market. And so that is going to have a significant impact. There's really not much that we can do about that other than create more inventory and bring affordability back to the market. So it's going to be a little bit before we see that. Those factors, however, are what's driving the slowdown in our inventory, and they're what's driving the fact that we now have our days on market going up. Our volume of inventory has gone up dramatically. And when I say dramatically, anything would have been dramatic relative to where we were. So we've now gone from less than 2 weeks of inventory to we're pushing close to 2 months of inventory. And that's not a bad thing. That actually is a good thing in terms of the overall healthy regional economy. So hopefully that actually is going to continue and stabilize, and I think ultimately that is the big story. We're seeing what appears to be a stabilization of our market. We're not seeing anything like the drama we had in, say, 07, 08. We're not seeing anything that would indicate a major economic event. This is a market that's finally taking a breather. It's slowing down from what has been an absolutely frenetic pace, and finally getting into a place where it's more sustainable, and hopefully we'll get back to what has historically been a 4 to 6% appreciation rate. So that's what I'm hoping for. I believe that's what we're seeing. There's no indication that we're seeing anything other than that. I'll certainly keep you updated if that does seem to be the case, but for now, let's all enjoy the fact that we're going back to what is potentially more normal. So that's the update for today. Hope that helps, and give me a ring if anybody has any questions. If you'd like to get an update specific to your area, feel free to ping me. My email, dennis@raincitydigs.com, and of course my number, 206-931-9945. Happy to answer any questions, and let me know what I can do to help out. Take care out there, enjoy your October, and hey, happy Halloween almost.